today we're going to go out and see what it's like to be a judge at a hackathon. A bunch of students have come up with some startup ideas, and I'm going to take you along with me. You know, I'm actually wearing a suit jacket, which is quite a rare thing for me. So normally I take the subway, the MRT, to get there to the convention center, but I don't want to be sweating in Singapore's hot weather today. So I'm going to be taking a Grab and head over there. So let's go. All right, so we're here in a Grab car on the way to the Marina Sands Expo. And this event is called Switch. Basically it's a week of innovation here in Singapore. They have it every year. And I used to go to this quite often, doing other things such as, you know, speaking or being a judge. And I haven't gone in quite a while because I kind of retired from the scene. But I decided to come this year because, like I wrote in my Substack article earlier, this is an opportunity to be a judge at at the Polytechnic universities, which is kind of like not the top tier. And that's kind of the reason why I want to go, because I think in the future, you know, you can't be always looking at like Ivy League and top tier universities. And I think a lot of the innovative and creative people are going to come out from places where we don't expect, such as not the top tier universities. And these kids should be given a chance, right? And so that's basically what motivated me to come back and you know, be a judge in one of these hackathon and incubation programs. But yeah, I'm enjoying the 80s music here. My bro over here is he's blasting the 80s music here, and we're just chilling and on our way to the expo. All right, so we made it into the Marina Bay Sands, and if you know, in Singapore there's those 3 buildings with a boat on top. That's actually where this conference is happening. So we're at the at the lobby here, and as you can see, there's quite a few people. All right, so we got some time before the actual judging event. So let's check out what it looks like in the trade floor down low. Basically, there's a bunch of all these like startups, right? Master classes, people sitting down, trying to make some business deals. Man, it's been a long time since I've been here. You know, each one of these booths are cheap. So, you know, it's quite some money. Networking lounge. What happened to this guy over here? Huh? What's going on over here? What happened to him, man?
He's been shot. Twice.
I shouldn't be laughing at that. What's going on over here? What is this?
Yeah, so we're Extreme Simulations. We've been working with the Singapore home team to develop a proof of concept for a mannequin that simulates a scenario where they've been shot twice. We then sort of have sensor technology within the mannequin to determine when the correct treatment has been administered, and then all of that feeds into a
very cool
language model, which the mannequin is then able to speak.
So it's like a smart mannequin connected to like machine intelligence.
Yeah, that's right. So,
all right.
Yeah, we've been working with Singapore Police Force and India.
SCDF?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I mean, you get stuff like that here, man. Like smart mannequin for police force training when people get shot, connected to a machine intelligence computer in the background. I mean, if that doesn't give you a sense of what's going on around here, I don't know what will. There's always some event of some dude selling their wares on the stage.
That's what scale looks like in energy.
That's what scale looks like in energy. All right, so we got a guy talking and booths behind selling, I don't know, what are those, are fake fruits? All right, we're gonna have to make our way upstairs to the event I'm in. But that's basically it, right? This happens once a year. People fly from all over the world to show their wares. And you know, they're here in Singapore because of basically one thing, right? Which is 2 things really. One is to get cash, to get investments, because Singapore's where the cash is at in this region. And the other is to do trials, right? Because Singapore is a small country and everything's interconnected, so it's a great place to try a product out and prove it out. So that's why you get a bunch of these companies coming here and showing their wares. It's kind of like the hub of the region. And that's basically the story of Singapore. Even here, now in the digital age. So we got to get upstairs to the 4th floor. So I guess that's where the event I'm going to be part of is taking place. I mean, this thing is so huge that, you know, you have multiple floors with each floor having a different setup. And, you know, for those who haven't been to Singapore, I mean, the Marina Bay Sands is kind of like, yeah, it's pretty iconic, right? It's like a bunch of malls and that crazy, like, you know, hotel with the three buildings and the swimming pool boat on top. And then they got this convention center, which is like one of the, you know, largest convention centers here in Singapore. There's another one all the way out by the airport that's even huger, but that's like, you know, that's way out there. This one's like downtown in the center of, you know, Business Central. And so a lot of events take place over here, and, you know, every year they have the Singapore Innovation Week. And yeah, you know, let's see what happens with this one. I just want to give a shout out to the Grab driver, or the Uber driver for those in America. I mean, that driver was blasting some pretty awesome 80s music, man. He told me every morning he blasts that channel, and they start off with the Rocky scene music to get people up. I mean, how awesome is that, man? I need to start doing that myself. Where's my 80s mix at? Thought I'd give you a shot here of the 3 buildings with the boat. It's a pretty interesting angle, but yeah, you see this everywhere, right? Everybody associates this with Singapore. I see it every time, but every time I see it, I still am like, damn, you know, that was the first infinity pool in the entire world, right? That was the first ever infinity pool was at this hotel. Well, got my second badge, which also took 2 seconds to create. Everything's run by QR codes and super efficient here. But yeah, we made it to the venue. This is the entrance to it. So let's go in and see what is up. So it's like, well, basically it's like another whole set of booths again. Dude, how many of these like exhibition and innovation floors? Well, look, another person speaking over here.
Communicable diseases are a much smaller proportion, and they have all been taken over by...
These look like all, yeah, local startups to me. And yeah, these are the universities, right? So this is NTU. And over here we got we got some Korean action. This whole startup hub by Kyosa. So I think these are like all Korean startups. Man, I tell you, man, they're all over the place over here.
Please make sure everyone has collected and wear your headset to ensure that you can hear all the stage presentation clear.
I guess the main thing I want to share with all of you is that what you have learned today and learned through the process is super important. In fact, I'm over 50 now, and I'm still doing what you're doing, which is trying to recreate something new, and it never ends. Once you start, it never ends. And I was just sharing this earlier. You know, in the future, because of things such as machine intelligence and AI, what's really going to matter is not your ability to do analytics and memory recall and all that, but it's not being a player in the game, but the creator of the game that's going to matter in the future. And you know, in AI, there's something called supervised learning, and there's also something called unsupervised learning. Well, this is the unsupervised learning part of learning. And this part of learning is going to become more and more important in the future. So everybody who's involved in this, take note of that. Don't consider this as a one-off event, but a continuous learning that is going to help you succeed in the future that we face. So having said that, thanks. Okay, so that was it, man. Look, I gotta say, I was very impressed by some of these students. They came up with really interesting ideas, and I might get in touch with some of them to kind of, follow through and encourage them. And it's just really heartening to see, these young kids starting on the entrepreneurial journey at such an early age. And my message to them was that, dude, this thing is going to just continue, right? It's not just this one event. Some of them already have done multiple times, and it's actually just a way of life, right? Way of living, to try different things, be original, and not be afraid. And I think these are like the lessons in life that you don't really teach in a classroom, but matter immensely, super underrated. These learning points that you just got to go out and do and live life. And it was really heartening to see these kids do that. So yeah, totally impressed. We're out here outside of the Marina Bay Sands building by the bay, and I just taking time out here to wrap things up. But you know, one of the important things that I'm trying to do is to try and change the mentality of always having to be the best, you know, come from the best of everything, especially when things are changing so quickly underneath. And, you know, and particularly when it comes to education and learning, you know, machine intelligence is going to flip it upside down, right? Like during the Industrial Revolution, you can't outlift a machine, right? The machine's going to pick up thousands of pounds with a hydraulic lift. No human's going to be able to outdo that. And it's going to be the same thing with, you know, analysis and certain types of intelligence. You're not going to outthink the machine. But what you can do is you can create new frameworks and games that the machines will operate within. And that kind of thinking is very different type of learning. And it's not necessarily going to come out from, I don't believe, you know, the traditional sense top educational platforms, because they're so rigid in the way they teach. And the type of learning that will succeed in the future is experiential based learning, things that, you know, you learn to basically innovate, basically like what Steve Jobs did, right? Like he didn't invent anything, everything existed, he just put it all together into the iPhone. There was already touch screen, there's already CDMA, wireless, and phone miniaturization technology. He just put it in a different way together. And that's the kind of knowledge and skills that's going to matter in the future. And that's something I look for, encourage people to look for. And we got to change the mindset that you can't look for that kind of abilities in traditional areas and traditional pedigreed, you know, institutions. That's not where it's going to come from. At least I don't believe that's where it's going to come from. So that's what kind of today's excursion here into this innovation little thingamajig was. It was all about that, is to encourage and support looking at places where you might not be normally looking at places, and to give chances to situations and people that normally you wouldn't give a chance to. Because I think through that is going to emerge the winning formula in the ever-changing world that we're facing. So having said that, I'll see y'all in the next episode. Peace out.